Now in the Black Box. Whoa. With Spider Loke, Most Easty, a.k.a. BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang. Let's go! Listen.
Gratitude is the attitude. Show is a blessing. To be back in the Black Box. Black Box.
Relax, roll up as we randomly react to content in these YouTube streets. Yeah. It's time for R&R.
Nightwood Net Hustle. Big shout out to my SPR, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the Black Box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.
Jeter, the constant, consistent, continuous content creation campaign continues. We had the Respectable Rants channel. He got a title up there that said Faux Leaf. His cases, how he took CRIP Mac channel, and how he, what was the last thing? How he, caught an attempt in jail. And, you know, Faux Leaf name ring bells. Ain't no rapper, no personality on the internet, but outside of Faux Extras, his name might be the hardest name hitting from 40s that's mentioned on a regular basis in this sector. So definitely he got the running for most notorious if he hasn't already won. Now him and Faux Extras seemingly neck and neck for that title. But with no further ado, let's see what Respectable Rants say the homie Faux Leaf, neighborhoods, the low, the legend, has been up to.
And his boy, far up. Where you gotta do destruction by dawn, that type shit.
Came through there, every blood that came through there, he was doing them bad. Stabbing niggas, put peanut butter in they, knocking niggas out, jacking niggas. You just always heard some crazy stuff. Leaf had the knife, bloody knife in his hand, and was like, holy crip movie, holy crip movie.
Oh, that's the leafer.
If you want to do something to him, why you didn't do it? Cuz just stood his toes like, that shit right there, cuz. Like, what was the point of saying anything to him if you was just gonna keep it moving? Oh, mama. Cuz ain't turning nothing down.
The cheaper. It's the leafer, man.
In today's video, we're gonna talk about Faux Leaf from the Rolling 40s. We're gonna break down his court cases and more. And besides 4 Extras and X4, I would say Faux Leaf would probably be the next most notable person out of there.
Damn, yep, because that's what I said, but a lot of people who just like the internet and know Faux Extras in them don't know a Faux Leaf. But if you really from the elements, his name ring like hard as a bitch.
And he's not a rapper or internet personality, but let's get into it. Faux Leaf would be put on the Rolling 40s at a young age, and he would be in and out of jail his whole life. But we're gonna start off with his first adult case. He would be arrested at the age of 18 on August 3rd of 2006 for Grand Theft Auto. But as you can see, he would take a plea deal 2 weeks later on August 14th of 2006. He would get 3 years of probation for this case, and he would be released that day. But 6 months later, while being on probation, he would catch another case on February 9th of 2007 for 1 count of attempted robbery and 1 count of grand theft from a person. This would be the case that he caught with 4 Extra, but they would give him 2 years in state prison for the grand theft from a person.
Yeah, 4 and 4. I didn't know they was crimey like that. Oh, my mama.
And since he violated probation on the Grand Theft Auto, they would give him 2 years also for that. So 4 years total. But he had 534 days of total credit. He would then be released at the end of 2008, but on November 23rd of 2009, he would catch a whole new case, this time for a robbery. He would then have to sit for a few months, but on April 8th of 2010, he would take a plea deal. He would get 36 months of probation, and he would be released 2 weeks later, on April 22nd of 2010. But it's like Faux Leaf couldn't stay out of trouble at this time, because just 5 months later, he would be arrested again. He would be arrested on October 29th of 2010 for another count of robbery. This would be the case that he caught with Touche, and the case that he caught his first life sentence on. But let's get into it.
Damn, not his first life sentence. It's crazy to catch life without nobody dying. Shout out Lil Black. Shout out Big Spider. My brother and my homie, cuz. Got an L, been down 20 plus. And ain't nobody died. My brother was just a simple robbery, simple transfer of property. Should have been home. And Lil Black, it was even worse. It was domestic violence. Yeah, he gave his girl a pretty ugly black eye. No way of condoning that. But that shit was like in 2000, 2001 or 99. It was way back then, cuz I ain't been home. Free the Lokes, cuz on my mama.
He said he would catch this case October 29th of 2010, and it would be 1 count of robbery. But 4 days later, Touche would be arrested. He was arrested on November 2nd of 2010 for 1 count of robbery and 1 count of dissuading a witness by force or threat. The robbery happened on October 27th of 2010 at 2 in the afternoon. This would be 2 days before Faux Leaf got apprehended and 6 days before Touche got arrested. But it's alleged that Faux Leaf and Touche walked into the laundromat and robbed the owner. The owner would be somebody from Roland 40's father that was no longer active. Faux Leaf would demand the money, and Touche would show a gun, allegedly. After Faux Leaf and Touche left, the owner to the laundromat would call his son to see what he should do, but his son didn't respond. So he would call the police, and the police would pull up, and he would tell the police that it was Faux Leaf and Touche. The owner of the laundromat would also identify them both in a photo lineup. But
Damn. Sound like that was a black-owned business, y'all. Damn. We don't have many of them left. Sheesh. Probably could have gave cuz a pass on my mama.
after only a few months, they would be found guilty by a jury on July 5th of 2011. But now let's get into the sentence for both of them. As you see to the right, it would say July 5th of 2011. They were found guilty by a jury. Faux Leaf would receive a total of 21 years in prison for this case. It would be 3 years for the robbery, but they doubled it because it was a second strike, so they gave him really 6 years for that, plus 10 years for a gang enhancement to run consecutive.
That's how they did my nephew. He was young, cuz wasn't number 18. And allegedly, him and a few homies went up north, like San Jose, and allegedly they were supposedly had robbed a bank, was involved in a bank robbery. Long story short, this cuz first adult crime. He had did a little juvenile time, but nothing adult. They gave my nephew 7 years for the robbery. No big deal. You okay? Well, but then they gave him 10 more years for a gang enhancement. So they gave cuz more time for the enhancement than they gave him for the robbery. And he is currently toward the end of walking off the 17 years. He had to do that time. Oh, my mama. This is crazy.
Plus another 5-year consecutive term for another enhancement. And on July 5th of 2011, the same day, Touche would also be convicted by the jury. But a month before that, he would have the other count of dissuading a witness by force dismissed. And Touche would get 23 years in state prison. 3 years would be for the robbery, and 20 years just in enhancements. And they were both sentenced on September 23rd of 2011, as you can see on the sentence date. But luckily for Faux Leaf, he would file a habeas corpus, and it would be granted, and he would be released on March 21st.
Shoot, I know he felt good. Speaking of habeas corpus, somebody just sent me a copy of Suge Knight's latest habeas corpus in this case that he's currently doing time for, man. I haven't got opportunity to look at it yet real good, but if I look at it and it's interesting enough, maybe we'll also look at it here on the Black Box, on my mama.
Of 2017. But like we said, Faux Leaf couldn't stay out of trouble, and he was really like the boogeyman at that time, because just 5 months later, he would be arrested again, this time for 2 counts of robbery. He would be arrested on August 7th of 2017, and don't forget, this would be 5 months after overturning a 26-year sentence. And it's alleged that Faux Leaf was middleman in a play for 50 pounds. That's when him and the 2 other people that were in there would rob them. The other 2 people that were with Faux Leaf wasn't arrested, so they would name them John Doe 1 and John Doe 2.
Still not named to this day, cuz stays solid.
Faux Leaf would pull up in a teal-colored Mercedes S550, and John Doe 1 and John Doe 2 were in a white Denali SUV. They would then pretend as if they were buying it, and during the process, somebody would pull out a gun and tie everybody up. And during the process, a shot was fired, but they would get away with 4 trash bags full. Police would then respond to the scene because they got a shots fired call. But on April 16th of 2018, he would be convicted by a jury and he would be found guilty. He would only be convicted of 1 count of robbery though. The other count was acquitted. But on December 10th of 2019, he would be sentenced to 26 years to life in prison. And this would be the breakdown. They would give him 25 years to life because of 3rd strike enhancement, plus 1 year for a firearm enhancement. But even though he's in jail for a 26 years to life sentence, it wouldn't stop there. Because on February 6th of 2020, he would be hit with 2 new counts while he was in jail. The first count, assault by force to produce great bodily injury. And the second count would be assault by a life prisoner. But 3 years later, on September 13th of 2023, he would be acquitted by a jury on both counts. Now we're going to break down how he would take CRIP Mac's YouTube, and how he would sue the sheriff's department for almost $500,000, and how he was accused of taking somebody's house.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk
He's
about
not going to
that.
rip you off like Mr. Lovejoy and try to take everything. Because his boyfriend in prison on the 4-yard wants everything.
That's another thing. Do I know?
No, you don't
I don't know.
You don't never want to meet this motherfucker.
You don't know nobody. You only know those of us who have come to know Jumper, Queerdo.
Wow.
If I tell you cut, man, you're going to be like, oh, let's leave that shit alone.
I already know.
Christopher Lovejoy is still choosing to use it, right?
Because as a man, he is a grown man. A grown man. Far. Where you got to do destruction by go on that type of shit.
But first, we're going to start off with CRIP Mac's YouTube and who owns it. Now, as you just heard, CRIP Mac would address 600 and somebody on a level 4 yard.
Shout out Alex Alonso, Street TV. During the time filming the Facts Over Feelings podcast, 600 was one of my guests. And I asked him, go watch it. I asked him, was Faux Leaf the owner of the label? He lied. Oh, wow.
And we all know CME Records would be the record label that owns CRIP Mac's YouTube. And we all know 600 always wears a CME chain. But when you look on Bizipedia.com, which would be a public information website for LLCs and businesses, you can see cutthroat music empires based out of California. And when you go down to see who the manager and chief executive officer is, it says Victoria Ferguson. And when we search that name, this public document right here came up on rulings.law. And as you see, number 1, it would say, motion to be relieved as counsel for defendant Victoria Ferguson. And then number 2, same thing, but the name would be Andre McClelland. And when you see the details to this case, like we said, this is all public information. You can see that somebody alleges that he entered a joint venture with the defendants to renovate his home and turn it into a homeless shelter. He further alleges that the defendants never formed a shelter, but instead simply took possession of his home. But like we said, that's all alleged, and we don't know what really happened, because this would be the only document that's on that website that we can see for now. But now let's get into how he sued the sheriff's department for $500,000.
That little scene right there by the escalator, I don't know, that should just get me charged up, just seeing cuz stand on it like that by itself, see the energy and see them just like wolf tickets. Why y'all didn't smash? Y'all know that's y'all man. Like, can't call cuz scared, y'all was up in numbers. Oh, my mama.
Now, as you see, this would be the public document that we found online. And as you see, the date filed would be December 21st of 2018. And the proposed settlement amount would be $450,000. And this situation would happen on August 28th of 2018. Allegedly, him and another inmate would get into a fight. They would both be hurt and a weapon was used. But he's alleging that the deputy set it up. This would allegedly be the fight with the Brim dude K5, the one that knocked out CRIP Mac's tooth, allegedly. But it's alleged on August 28th or August 29th, between the hours of 2 and 7 p.m., Faux Leaf was ordered out of his cell by the CO. And at that time they ordered him out the cell, nobody else was out their cell. but the COs would take Faux Leaf out the module. One CO would be escorting him, and then the other CO would be in the control booth, opening the doors. Faux Leaf was housed in 4700. They would then take him from 4700 to 4800, and they would place him in a dark cell. And in that cell was K5 from Brim, the one that knocked out CRIP Mac's tooth. And they would get into a fight, and knives would be pulled. They would both sustain injuries, and it's alleged that they both ended up suing. But shortly after this, Faux Leaf would end up winning because they ended up settling, and he would get $450,000. But Faux Leaf is still currently incarcerated, and he's housed with Razi Bugatti from the Stink Team, where he's currently eligible for parole in July of 2035. But that's gonna wrap it up for the Faux Leaf story. We may have a part 2 coming soon. But like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate it.
Cuz did that weak ass flinch like Cuz was gold. Like, Cuz didn't give none, mate. He just,
Eligible for parole in July of 2035. But that's gonna wrap it up for the Faux Leaf story. We may have a part 2 coming soon. But like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate y'all.
Cuz did that pump fake, Cuz for the drawdown. Like, what you doing? What we doing? Neighbors, chunky, like. Shout out, Cuz. Free the Loke, the legend, Faux Leaf.
It's respectable rants.
Chunk of my fingers when they take me a flick. 30 or better when we load up clips. My cup get low, this bitch know that I'm lit. Tryna fire out this wood but can't find my bitch. Chunk her the deuces, I get a new bitch. Michigan logos, that mafia shit. Box, Chevy on foes with the pipes on that bitch. It don't get no better than this. It's that mafia shit. Nah, it don't get no better than this. I'm the truth, nigga, get off my dick. I'm a mafia crib. Michigan logo on the back of the whip. Michigan logo on my flesh, boy, this shit to the death. Don't wanna slide, then I'm straight to the neck. Pass for a bag, then I'm straight to the set. My cup on full, with a gang of my wet. Wanna beef with the set? Bring a gang of your best. From the big to the little, from the babies to the tiny, from the infants to the newborns, with the locs where you find me. From the players to the hustlers, even the non-affiliates. He ain't from the hood, but he was born in it. Blood blue in my veins, I'm born with it. Daddy, uncles, brothers, and cousins, they did it. Since a kid, I grew up seeing CRIP, no cap. Michigan jersey, this a throwback. Ain't gotta holler mafia, they know that. Chunk of my fingers when they take me a flick. 30 or better when we load up clips. My cup get low, this bitch know that I'm lit. Tryna fire out this wood but can't find my bitch. Chunk her the deuces, I get a new bitch. Michigan logo, that mafia shit. Box, Chevy on foes with the pipes on that bitch. It don't get no better than this. It's that mafia shit. Top off the Remy Martin, I hit my targets. These bitch ass niggas done got me started. A push of a button and I can start it. He ain't take the deal, cuz farted. Spark that pistol the first night I bought it. Chunking my fingers when they take me a flick. Yeah, that. It's a Chevy SS sounding just like a Hellcat with 2 pipes on it. I said it, I stand on it. Off the back, like I'm from the 40s. What you know about gold trophies? Gold chains and gold rags on me. Only politic with real homies. I know all my big homies. We put the hood on the map, hopping out a scat pack. All blue hat that say Baymax. The motherfucking truth. Why the fuck would I make it up? We be putting belt to ass. Them niggas don't play with us. They hit me up and I'ma holler mafia crip. On the count of 2, take my flick. Yeah, that. Chunk of my fingers when they take me a flick. 30 or better when we load up clips. My cup get low, this bitch know that I'm lit. Tryna fire out this wood but can't find my bitch. Chunk her the deuces, I get a new bitch. Michigan logo, that mafia shit. Box, Chevy on foes with the pipes on that bitch. It don't get no better than this. It's that mafia shit. Yeah, that. Big M's, that was to be exact. Mafia crib. Holla which one I say all of them. Believe that.
Nigga in that puzzle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know I'm in the black box, had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. all that.
It's the homie cook-up boss, goddammit, Cub Low. And y'all tuning in to the Wake and Bake show with goddammit the homeboy Spider Low.
Here with SPI, the realest nigga in LA.
Spider this bitch.
My name is Spider Low.
Spider Loke, nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
Spider Loke.
Spider Low.
So Spider looks at me because we go back to the juvenile side of the county.
What the fuck?
My nigga.
Spider Low.
Spider Low. Shout out to SPI, that motherfucking nigga.
Spider Low, Wake and Bake. Better keep it Google, nigga.
Loke is in LA somewhere doing what he's doing.
In the words of Spider Loke, on my mama's mama.
Spider Loke's gear. This is Bay Mac.
Nate Blood, C-Mac. Shout out my Loke, Spider Loke, cuz. Nate Blood, on hood. It's a beautiful world. You fight me? Fight, CRIP.
Point blank, do no subliminal dissing. When I listen, I can tell you never been on no mission. Sticking to the script, don't care if I offend you. Neighborhood crib, the marathon
overlook my competition, never seeing them. I done trained my mind that I'm going. You could tell by how I walk, talk, I'm a boss. A east side millionaire, homie, what you thought? My life is a movie. They can't get close to me. They mad cause they can't be. I'm everything that they wanna be, yeah.
You are now in the Black Box with Spider Loke, Most Easty, aka BJ Keyway, and the Google Gang.
Let's go!